Hey, this is a short video to tell you a little bit about a documentary that just came out. The Game Designers was kickstarted back in 2018, I think, and is now available for purchase. The director, Eric Rail, reached out to me and he gave me a download of the documentary for me to watch and to tell you guys about it, and so I appreciate that a lot. You might be stuck inside like a lot of us because of COVID-19. You might be looking for something to watch or do, and this is definitely something that I think is worthwhile. Especially for us as gamers, we are interested in the hobby, and even though I've never thought about designing a game myself, mostly because it looks like a super painful and hard process. But it is super interesting just to see how the industry works and to follow these different game designers. So the documentary is 90 minutes long and basically interviews a bunch of different game designers and people in the industry. That's really interesting. So really famous ones like Eric Lang, who made Blood Rage, as well as The Godfather. You see Tom Bassel and Z Garcia being interviewed as well, and you learn a lot about the history of board gaming and especially the big boom in board games these past 20 years or so. And so it's just a really fascinating documentary just to find out more about the gaming industry and history as well. And you see a lot of shots of different conventions that are going on. Attending Essen Spiel is actually something that's on my bucket list of something I want to do sometime in my lifetime. But the bulk of the documentary follows 5 different game designers, all the way from Chris Falkenberry, who is trying to produce his first game, and you can really tell it's a passion project for him and does a lot of hard work. You really start rooting for the guy and hoping that his game will be published. You also have Doug Shepers, who is creating his first game, and you can feel the pain of just some of the feedback sessions that his family and friends give him as he's trying to explain his game and get them to really like it. Kelly North Adams also has actually published some games, and you watch her pitching her game to some publishing companies and trying to get her game published as well and off the ground. And then you see 2 other game designers in the documentary who are more famous and more successful. What's really appropriate during this time of our current pandemic is you see Matt Leacock, who is the designer for Pandemic. Sort of follows him as he's releasing another expansion for Pandemic. So it's really interesting to hear from him and sort of his history with game design. And then finally, you see Antoine Bauza, a French game designer. He made 7 Wonders, and he gets to do this full time, and you see his sort of game design place in France. So it's super interesting, even as a person who doesn't design games, but am interested in games, and so it's definitely worth a watch if you're able to. Go ahead and click on the links below where I have their webpage linked up so that you can go there, and there's multiple options that you can choose to either purchase or rent the movie. One of the good things about working from home and sort of being cooped up in the house is being able to get a lot of hobbying done, where I'm doing a lot of painting miniatures and things like that. But check out this documentary. As a gamer, I think you'll find it really interesting. So I definitely give it a thumbs up for being a fun documentary watch. And even within the game, you see a ton of games being played, and it's fun to sort of recognize them, really root for these game designers, and get some insider insight into how all of the game designing works. So go ahead and check that out. Like and subscribe to see more content, as I'm going to be producing them during our pandemic so that you can stay in tune with what's happening in the gaming world. So hopefully you're staying safe, and we'll see you next time.